From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 22nd, 2021. Israelis will head to the polls tomorrow to cast their votes for the fourth time in less than 2 years. 37 parties are on the ballot for the country's national elections. There are just over 6.5 million eligible voters in the country and over 13,000 polling stations, including 751 special stations set up for COVID-19 patients or voters that are in quarantine because of the virus, including 38 mobile voting stations within COVID wards at Israeli hospitals that will give all patients a chance to have their say. Preliminary results of the elections are expected Thursday night or Friday. The IDF tweeted that its soldiers recently arrested 2 Palestinians who crossed Israel's border fence with Gaza into Israeli territory. They said 2 knives were seized from the suspects and they are being interrogated. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin met today with new United Nations Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Tor Wennesland, who took over the role from Nikolai Mladenov just a few months ago. Rivlin tweeted of the two's first working meeting in Jerusalem. "We spoke about current challenges, and I am sure that we will continue to work closely during his term to preserve regional stability." Well, a man suspected of drawing a swastika in the snow in front of New York City's Temple Emmanuel last month was arrested. The New York Police Department's Hate Crimes Task Force tweeted that an arrest was made Thursday after the man returned to the site to desecrate it again, they wrote, this time with chalk. U.S. Director for Combating Antisemitism for the American Jewish Committee, Holly Huffnagel, tweeted the news today, writing, "We thank NYPD Hate Crimes, NYPD News for their vigilance and for stopping further anti-Semitic harassment." An Israeli-American pharmaceutical company is getting ready to start its first clinical trial for what it hopes could be the world's first oral COVID-19 vaccine. Oramed Pharmaceutical CEO Nadav Kidron said that an oral COVID-19 vaccine would eliminate several barriers to rapid, wide-scale distribution, potentially enabling people to take the vaccine themselves at home. And a nasal spray is being produced in Israel to help fight against the coronavirus. The Times of Israel reports that Inovid will be marketed as capable of killing 99.9% of virus particles. Its inventor, Dr. Gili Regev, who developed the product in Canada, told the Times that Inovid was like a hand sanitizer equivalent for the nose, creating a physical barrier in the nasal passages to stop viruses, together with a chemical barrier of nitric oxide. She said, "We are hoping that our nasal spray will now save many lives of people in countries that are waiting for the vaccine." 3 Israeli Nano satellites are on their way to space, among 38 small satellites from 18 countries that are part of the payload of a Soyuz rocket that was launched from Kazakhstan today. The Israeli satellites, which are about the size of a shoebox, made by the Technion in Haifa, will be placed in an orbit 372 miles above the surface of the Earth and will test whether a few small satellites, instead of one large one, can be used to monitor emergency locator beacon signals, like from ships, planes, and even lost hikers. Pini Gurfil, who leads the project, told the Times of Israel that this is a significant step forward for Israeli space research and technology. Well, history was made on the rugby field Friday. The national rugby teams of Israel and the United Arab Emirates held their first ever match, a friendly match in Dubai called the Abraham Accord Friendship Cup. They played 2 games, the first won by Israel 33-0. They then divided into 2 teams, blue and white, made up of players from both nations, playing another game with white winning over blue 50-40. The Emirati team tweeted a video message to the teams from Israel's president, Reuven Rivlin, who called the sport an excellent way to build bridges across different religions, cultures, and nationalities.
This initiative, a joint rugby training camp, is wonderful expression of the new spirit of people-to-people peace following the historic Abraham Accords. While leaders may sign peace agreements, true peace requires people on both sides to build bonds of friendship and cooperation in every arena.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, March the 22nd at 7 o'clock. It's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, meet undercover soldier Shir Peled and other heroic women who are keeping Israel safe and secure on JBS's premiere episode of FIDF Live, a new series spotlighting the incredible achievements of men and women of the IDF, hosted by Joel Chasnoff. At 8, former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. Michael Oren analyzes the future of U.S.-Israel relations under the new president and offers predictions about the fourth Israeli elections. That's in a program of the Miriam Institute with Benjamin Anthony. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with author Fran Klagsbrun, who talks about her biography of Golda Meir on L'chaim. At 10, the late Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, Shachar Azani speaks with Israeli political analyst Kobi Cohen, who shares his updates and insights on Israel's elections. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, March the 22nd, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.